So Jules has a different border than I was expecting.
Yeah.
But we'll go through the introductions first. For our majority community team, we're going to have Michigan Slim playing Dark Rider Sejuani, Khan the Mage Guy playing Armor of the Fifth Age Tarek, Kalo playing High Command Katarina, Jules, who is actually the Rider, who swapped with Handicap Bankai, playing Headmistress Fiora, and then Dearth on TPA Ezreal.
Also, we have Riot Rojin on Big Bad Warwick, Riot Aphik on Mafia Jinx, Riot Baconhawk on Sun Goddess Karma, Riot Morgageddon, not a surprise on Morgana, the exiled Morgana, and Handicap Bankai on Spirit Guard Udyr. And for the first time in my memory, we have a 100% skin usage.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 we're rocking now.
Now, you mentioned the border, and with that, I am now seeing why Riot was opting for the team swap.
Yeah, swapping it up. Which reminds me, we might be able to I'm still working at getting another Beast Wars going, so
Ooh.
we might actually be able to see an all-diamond team face-off.
Cool. Beast Wars. And for those of us who don't know what Beast Wars is,
Beast
care to explain
Wars?
at least a little bit about that?
Yes, Beast Wars is essentially a 5-man, typically a diamond or better, Riot team, and we'll play 3 Summoner's Rifts instead of a Summoner's Rift ARAM in a custom game mode. And essentially, if you can beat the Beast Wars team, a lot of times there's a reward involved. It could be anything from, getting tweeted out on Twitter or, anything like that that can go over the interwebs. I mean, nobody's going to come to your house and, throw you a party with bacon confetti, but there typically is a reward if you can beat them, and they are very good, and they do play to win. But we do things like MVP and things like that. We'll do voting in the middle of the games and stuff, so it's a lot of fun.
And not only is it play to win, there's usually some kind of gimmick behind it, isn't there?
Yes, but not always for the first game. The first game is like a feel-out game, and then the second game there's usually a gimmick, and if they lose the gimmick game, then there's a third, serious, everybody plays their best champion game.
And by they, you're referring to Riot, I'm assuming.
That's correct. Community can gimmick all they want. I mean, we see Jinx right now. She's just laughing. She's doing a little raffling right there.
The last Beast Wars I remember, Riot ran an entire team of only Beast champions, or transforming animal champions like Nidalee, Shyvana or Warwick is in there. I think Udyr was somehow integrated into that as well. But the idea is that animals are somehow the center of the composition.
Champions that belong in cages. Handicap Bankai's going 1v1 right now with Jules, and I think Jules realizes right now that she can't win that fight. Meanwhile, down bottom, there's a stun on a Baconhawk, but a very early ignite from Bankai right here, and this is the challenger lane from Jules right here, as they're going to go back and forth in a 1v1. Fiora being that excellent duelist, around level 2 or 3, she'll probably assert some dominance when she can actually waltz in. It's not actual blade waltz that she uses. It's a blade lunge. And there it is right there. She's going to lunge onto him. 2 hits, a flash, and coming down for Jules. Using that ruler to really teach Udyr what's going on.
Yeah, it was a good try of Bankai to at least get some kind of an early lead against the challenger Jules in this top lane. It didn't work out for him quite as well. The Tire stance was a nice level 1 to start out with just for damage purposes, but trading the Ignite away meant he had no Ignite for the follow-up engage from Jules, and he died from it pretty quickly.
Yeah, but that early Ignite probably should have opted to go for a much longer lane and out-sustain her, where he actually ignited her through a full potion and reduced all the healing through that as well. But got a little too close. She hit level 2 first and then just lunged her way in there for a kill.
Yeah, the level 2 is always something you want to watch out for in any lane. You always see specifically duo queued bot lanes trying to rush level 2 off the 9th minion, which is usually the 3rd melee creep in the 2nd wave. You can see solo laners just trying to rush through that wave in order to get the advantage and Jules did exactly that to get the first blood.
A little bit of trading going on down bottom. It looks like community side, though, doing a little bit better in the trades early on here. Just because of the fact that they might be down in health a little bit more, but they have the mana and they have the heals coming out of Tark.
Yeah, that sustain, not even including the summoner heals here, is just going to... The poke overall has been kind of even back and forth, and the the Terra Keel, whatever it's called, Imbue, I was close. That's going to really even out any poke that comes back. Karma is known as the really flavor of the month poking support with the not Feral Flare, Soul Flare, with the mantra bonus on it. It just does a ton of damage, just with its own base damage. It hurts a lot, especially to squishy bot laners like Ezreal that Dearth is on right now.
Yep, and they're just going back and forth, trading a little bit, clearing each other's wards. Mid lane, nothing too exciting happening. Actually, Cat up in CS by a little bit. And really interesting to see the Biscuiteer on Cat, even though she doesn't have any mana.
Yeah, one thing we're not really seeing a whole lot of this early is a lot of vision. I see 2 community wards and now 1 Riot side ward in the river just near the edge of the lanes. No one's going for very aggressive vision. Top lane, neither of the laners up there have gone for even any defensive wards to cover themselves. So, and more importantly, we're not seeing any of the junglers really capitalize on the fact that there isn't any vision yet.
Yeah, Handicap Bankai, you can see playing very safe, went back, grabbed some potions, because had started with the Door and Shield already. Didn't really have much else to get. And Jules trying to freeze it a little bit in front here. No jungle to be found, though. Sejuani all the way down on golems. So no ganks to really come out either, which is not much of a surprise, because both Warwick and Sejuani kind of lackluster without those ultimates, especially Warwick. Sejuani does have a gap closer and a slow in her kit, but no hard CC coming out of her until level 6.
Yeah, and we already see the jungle items coming into play. The Maju's Razors are on the Warwick, and Spirit Stone on the Sejuani right now. A pink ward placed in the river really early, and not in a very defensible position, so it got swept out very cleanly and uncontested by Riot.
Yeah, Bankai now has to be really careful that Jules is level 6. And definitely a scary place to be now. If she has to actually lunge to a minion and then lunge to him, he should be able to get out of that pretty cleanly. She doesn't have flash up quite yet, and he should be able to just run away from that. But if she can lunge directly onto him, he might find himself in some trouble in a serious trade, or where a kill might even come out, depending on how much... I mean, she did go back and grab 2 longswords on top of her Dorn's Blade, so she has a lot more AD than he has right now.
Yeah, the long swords, I'm guessing, are most likely going to be built into a brutalizer. That's usually the norm. I'm not entirely sure with Fiora. Normally, we see Fioras going for the likes of Tiamat into a Hydra early, but I don't think the double longswords builds into that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be easily wrong with that.
Into the Hydra, there are not 2 longswords. No, that's a pickaxe for the Hydra.
Yeah.
That's a large AD component for that item.
Yeah. And either way, Udyr is not a champion that really gains a significant advantage when he hits level 6, and we do see Jules tending to go in, takes down half of Bankai's health, but takes a bear stance stun to the face.
Yeah, this is the point where you should really be falling back and just going for the jungle. Grab the double golems. I mean, you have good CC, good sustain. You can jungle easily on Udyr. And Mage Guy taking a big amount of poke right there. Not able to get in, kind of trading back and forth. Bacon Hawk using quite a bit of mana, though, and a double kill mid lane that I completely missed. I didn't even see that go down whatsoever. I saw Sejuani die, and I was too late for it because I was watching bottom lane. But Morgan getting herself blue buff and then taking out 2v1 in the mid lane. No flash used out of either Sejuani or Cat, though.
The ultimate, the Soul Shackles, was actually used in order to pick up the kill on Michigan Slim, but it was just a really good Dark Binding and a Tormented Soil that got the second kill on Kalo. Now we see an engagement in bot lane.
Yeah, and they're going to be ulting onto Con Mage Guy, who's going to get locked down. Mega Death Rocket not even needed. So a very easy kill picked up right there. burning the Ghost and ult off of Warwick, but a really good gank. I mean, level 6, went in, had the chompers underneath. Not really much you can do about that. Didn't even have the option to flash out of that one.
It's really easy to chain CC after a Warwick ult initiates a fight, and we just saw that right there. The arm time on the Flame Chompers was negligible because Tarek was locked in place for so long there, and by the time that the channeling for Infinite Duress was over, the Flame Chompers were already armed and snared him again in place there. See a little bit roam here from Kalo, trying to get something going in the bot lane, but Riot has already backed off and going back to base.
Yeah, she saw that Jinx was out of mana down there, and also Karma was very low down in the bot lane, and Dearth tried to keep Jinx around for a little while, but was unable to do so, and they both recalled to safety. So at 10 minutes, we're at a 300 gold lead for the mainly community team. It's 1-3 in kills, no towers yet, and not a crazy game really coming out. Usually we see a lot of action coming out in these games, but a lot of fairly passive play.
I would say passive apart from in top lane right now. We have Jules already going on to Bankai.
Yeah, Bankai taking a lot of hate right there, and probably needs to start scaling up that turtle stance a little bit more than the tiger. Going to see the pings come down onto top lane. There is a ward. Jules is covered right there, but we'll see if she sees it coming or not. There it is, and she's going to back off. Kalo actually going to ult in the mid lane, trade a little bit with Morgageddon, but not get too much out of it. Dearth taking a lot of damage, forced to shift out of that exchange down bottom. Aphic with shields and rockets, doing a good job right there. Con the mage guy. Oh, a flash out of Dearth from the Super Mega Death Rocket. And then we have an engagement up top. Handicap Bankai gets one stun off. Needs to run out of there. Not popping the turtle stance. Not much turtle stance going on. Where's the turtle? And now Jules is going to 1v1 on Erosion. There's the Blade Waltz. Big damage coming down. Michigan Slim there to ensure that Warwick was going to go nowhere. Using the ultimate as well. And now Morg looking down bottom for a dive.
Yeah, Rojan was really underestimating the damage of the BF Sword Fiora early, but the Dark Binding just misses on the mage guy, and Morgan will back out of that for now, but still sitting in the tri-bush waiting for a pick. Soul Shackles is up.
She could land it. No, she will not get the binding. I don't think they're going to dive without it. They do have the Tarek stun under tower, but a good Black Shield will pretty much negate all of that anyways. A good ultimate right here. Clear out the wave and protect your turret. Kayla went to meet Morgageddon in the mid lane, but decided not to go for it. Down by 1 level right now. And meanwhile, up in top lane, there's some CS finally coming out to the Udyr, who got a couple waves by himself. But Fiora's missing, sitting back at base for an extended amount of time, actually. Picked up a BF sword, believe it or not.
Well, the BF sword is already in place. I'm not entirely sure what Jules is waiting on there. He's sitting on 800, almost 900 gold at the moment. There it is. He finishes the Bloodthirster.
We have Rojan down on the bottom here. Has not been seen. Ready to gank. Morgageddon pushing up pretty hard in the mid lane as well. They just swept the bottom brush. They know nothing's there, but that should be a tip-off that there's another ult coming in. Rojan is going to be on top with Infinite Duress. Flash over the Chompers. Not going to get locked down right there, but still going to go down. A good job right there. Meanwhile, mid lane, Kalo's going to get locked down with Morgageddon. Needs to be very careful right here, taking a lot of damage. The Ignite in the pool going to be taking her down. Jules is here, though. Can Morgageddon get slowed? There it is. Jules is on top, and Riot Morgageddon is going to fall to the blade, or the ruler of the teacher, Jules, right there. And they're going to end up exchanging 1-for-1 in that mid lane. But not much they can do down bottom, as their turret will fall. So it's going to be 2 turrets for mainly Riot team right now.
Yeah, Riot really needs to get out of that bot lane quickly. It was good for them to trade the turret for the shutdown kill onto Morgageddon, and with the Flame Chompers just covering that entire entrance, they stopped Jules from even crossing that line, and they do get out safely with actually the second turret of the game after the mid lane went down.
Trojan actually opting with the Moby boots onto his Warwick. Went right for the Wriggles Lantern into Feral Flare, I'm sure, but goes with the Mobies. A lot of times you'll see Warwicks go with CDR boots, or even the boots of swiftness are fairly popular with the Warwicks.
And just as an update, with that white right there, that is 19 stacks on the Wriggles Lantern, 6 camps away from transforming that into Feral Flare. Riot Team is pinging the dragon, but there's a community ward right on top of it, and it will see them if they want to go for it. As of right now, we haven't even...
a good binding onto Kalo. Going to use the cleanse on that one and just walk away from it. That's where cleanse is very useful. I mean, if you eat a binding, then you are in trouble. You gotta be ready to shunpo back into random directions. Gonna get hit with another binding. Morgan being able to pick up the kill with the Soul Shackles. It doesn't even get the second tick. Not even needed. And that's another kill for Morgan in the mid lane. Already finishes Zhonya's 4-1 right now. Between mid and Karma, all the kills on Riot's side have been just absorbed by those two, quote-unquote supports, whereas Morgan is actually playing the mid lane Morgana.
Yeah, it's very clear which main carries each team is going to rely on by this point. Although the Bacon Hawk and Aphik have had a great laning phase in bot lane with a couple of good ganks from Rojan, it's really Morgageddon who is doing a lot of the damage from this Riot side team right now, and it's really him who's going to have to put up with Jules and the Fiora engages. Well, and Fiora engages. All the Fiora damage, I mean. And with that, Zhonya is in place early. That's a lot of good early armor, and it's a very good item to deal, especially with Fiora. I believe, and again, I could be wrong in this, but I believe that the Blade Waltz actually breaks the tether for Soul Shackles. That won't really prevent Morgageddon from going invulnerable with the Zhonyas, though, because any Blade Waltz on top of Morgageddon will be negated entirely by the Zhonya's active.
Yeah, you're gonna see Fiora wanting to go for the Aphik, the squishy Jinx in the backline, and picking up that kill first. So they're gonna trade back and forth. Chompers have gone down. They really wanted engagement right there, but they weren't able to lock anybody down. And now it's gonna be 5v2 down in bottom lane. Michigan Slim, a flash from Aphik into the brush, actually going to avoid that ultimate. Kalo, though, gonna get in there and pick up one kill as she shunpos back out, even though she got exhausted. And the blade's coming out! Aphik now in a lot of trouble with no summoners left, and Heat will go down as well. So a 2-0 exchange in the tower dive, but here comes Morgan with all that damage, and the Zhonya is going to be able to pop that right there. An ult coming out from Rojan. They are going deep for this one. Morgan almost going down. Kalo trying to finish her off, unable to close the gap, trying to run away to a reward as Rojan chases her down with the additional speed. And he is one hungry grandmother right there, picking up that kill as Dearth unable to finish off Morgageddon. Oh, a mystic shot whizzing by Morgageddon's head. And Dearth really wants to go again for this. Knows that Rojan's going around the backside. Morgageddon just baiting it out. And now Dearth in a lot of trouble as Rojan has a red buff and a hunger. Morg picking up the kill just to show him who's boss.
Yeah, and meanwhile in the top lane, Handicap Bankai got free reign on that turret. He's actually got enough money to finish off the Randuins right now after pushing that in. And he's caught up, not really anywhere near all the way back up to Jules and farm, but he is closing the gap at least a little bit. Now, 120 to 47, it is a really big gap to make up. And frankly, Jules has been leaving him alone after he took down that turret.
Yeah, She went and grabbed the turret and then decided to roam to try and help out. She's picked up one kill in mid. She helped with 2 down bottom. But Morgageddon has actually picked up a Glacial Shroud on top of the Zhonyas. So going for CDR and armor, knowing that the real threat is going to be Jules getting in there. Bacon caught a little bit out of position. Kalo jumping in and ulting. Unable to get enough damage to get the kill, though. Rojan going in, sacrificing himself with an infinite arrest. Morgageddon going to flash in a 3-man ultimate right here. Will they have enough damage to slow her down? The Zhonyas will come out. Jules is going to go down. And this is a bad fight for the community side. Con the mage guy very low. Udyr here in the nick of time, but not helping out quite yet. As Aphik picking up the quadra kill.
And we do have a Dearth right nearby who does not want to give over the Penta. Riot Aphik will not chase into that. And that is a very good fight for Riot's side. Community was just really wanting to engage on top of the Rojan. He threw himself into the fight, but it just left over. That tiny corridor was a perfect Soul Shackles for Morrigan, and they got off a 3-man stun with that, along with the Zonias, to just let him get in and out very safely, picking up a lot of... Well, Morrigan didn't pick up the kills, it just brought him all low enough for Apic to clean everything up.
Yeah, Bankai is here to help clean up that mid-turret. Pretty easy pickup. Tiger Stance does a good amount of work as far as turrets are concerned, but it doesn't have any AD. Just rocking the Randuins right now.
Yeah, and the Randuins, again, there's not... apart from Kalo and Katarina, there's not really any meaningful magic damage from community side. It's really just Kalo. You have a little bit from the support Tarek and the jungler on Sejuani, but it's really not a threatening amount. What you're really looking for is a Riot trying to counter the damage that Jules is putting out. They know he's way ahead in his lane. They know, or she, I don't know, it was Fiora. I don't know if Jules is
you can call it Fiora a she.
She.
You're fine.
Referring to the player though, not just the champion. Come on. Okay, anyway.
All I see are champions. I don't know what you're talking about.
Jules won lane decisively. That's what matters. And with the very early Bloodthirster that Jules got out of that, everyone is trying to itemize against the physical damage Fiora, and that's why we're seeing the Glacial Shroud, Frozen Heart Morgana right now, the Randuin's Rush, the Frozen Mallet early from Warwick. Knocks out the armor, but it's a lot of health and trying to deal with any damage thrown at him. And also a Chain Vest early on Apic.
Yeah, Jules getting out of there really quick. A Ghost coming out of Rojan right here. He's going to use Infinite Duress right onto Jules, into a binding, all of that damage coming out, and Morgan easily picking up that kill. Rojan actually being credited, but they went down bottom, and they picked up a kill on Jinx. I think it was a 1v4 down bottom, and Jinx almost took out Dearth. Maybe it was baiting that one pretty hard. I didn't get to see that. So a 1-for-1 trade across the board right there. The shutdown gold, though, going for taking out Jinx. So that'll be a little bit extra gold, along with all the assist gold being spread out there.
Yeah, 2 kills basically on opposite sides of the map happening here. I'm surprised that neither team really got anything from those apart from just the kills. Community was in a good place to push that first tier.
Learning what a Frozen Mallet is right now. Rojan just sticking to champions and not having much of an issue, just slowing them down and hopefully helping pick up kills. Darth has the red buff, though, so going to compete a little bit there. Hasn't finished a Triforce yet, going for the Bloodthirster Triforce build, which is one of my favorite builds on Ezreal lately, because it gives you that mid-game and early game that you need before the Triforce is complete. If you go straight Triforce, you kind of get a sheen, and then you fall off. Kong the Mage Guy, though, going to get bound right here, stunned, and then they're going to go ahead and ult Jules, who's coming in to help out, forcing her to flash over the wall. Kalo going to flash and cleanse, the Death Rocket going for a field goal in between all the champions. Jules, though, going to get bind right there, very low, forced to back as they lay siege on this mid-inhibitor turret for Riot.
Yeah, Riot's really knowing which champions to focus from community side, and it's giving them a lot of edge in these fights, being able to pick out someone early, especially Mage Guy, who, apart from the engage of Sejuani, is really the only crowd control.
Oh no! A shift forward from Dearth, going to get binded, and an easy kill being picked up. Bacon Hawk getting waltzed on, and she's going to flash out of this one. The Ignite's going to go down. Jules is going to get her target, but will it be worthwhile as Jinx turns around and picks up that kill onto her? Didn't focus Morgan, knew that the Zonias was there along with all of that armor. I mean, it's not very often that you see a Morgana with 222 armor at 23 minutes. And another hit on a Kalo, and that is going to get her down. Michigan Slim going to get infinite rest underneath the tower. There is a good lockdown there, but not enough. Khan the Mage Guy going to go down as well. A 3-0 dive for Riot right here. And the easy ultimate going a little wide right there. Going to ping the back for everybody. They say, we got the turret. Let's not get too greedy. It is only 23 minutes. I mean, the timers are pretty long right now. Dragon's up, Baron's up, red buff is up. There's plenty of stuff they can go farm.
if Riot were able to take out that inhibitor, it would mean so much for being able to keep Community locked down just inside their own base right now. It's really just because it's early enough in the game that no one has significant wave clear to deal with super minions. You're seeing a lot. You see the Katarina who was forced to rush that Abyssal Scepter just to be able to deal with the Morgana damage. It's a defensive big item first. You see Ezreal, who just naturally doesn't have a lot of wave clear. The only one who's really ahead enough to deal with it right now is Jules on Fiora, and they need that damage in the fights, not off split pushing and trying to deal with super minions.
She really had to go with the Last Whisper very early.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of armor that Jules had to cut through, and it just
Morgan again actually going to hit the binding over the wall. Jules going to jump onto Bankai, but knows there's more people coming right now. Rojan going to put the duress on there, and Jules just being singled out right here as Morgan goes legendary.
Yeah, and that also leaves still Dragon on the table. It's been up for a while, but no one has really gone for it since that mid lane push. Once again, Riot is able to single out Jules, get a kill on him, her 5-5 Fiora now. Still very ahead of Bankai as far as the lane matchup is concerned, but a dead Fiora isn't going to do much as long as Bankai is still up. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Durst is pushing on the turret, but Morgan might have bit off a lot more than he can chew.
Well, they have circled Morgan right here. There is the Zonias. There comes the Death Rocket. Con the Magi actually going to get out of there alive, but look at the health bars. This is a 1v4 as they continue the engagement. The ult comes out from Michigan Slim, but everybody else had run away. Ezreal went down to the pool, I believe. And
Yes.
Now it's just them running away with their tails between their legs. Community going to have a really rough time right here. Rojan started out the Dragon. He now has a little bit of extra AD, so able to hold his own in these fights.
Yeah, once again, an update. The Feral Flare is now in place. It's now at 8 stacks. So it's doing a little bit of extra damage on top of the base damage from the item itself, but it still doesn't have a lot of farming stacks on it here at 26 minutes. Riot is very ahead, but Rojan has just been trying to shut down Jules so much. It hasn't left a lot of time for him to farm and get more stacks of those.
Kalo in a lot of trouble. No cleanse is going to get you out of that, especially when it's a red buff onto a Jinx, who already finished off the Zeal, so a little bit extra move speed, nothing to shampoo to.
And
so
a Guardian Angel. Aphik has a second item, Guardian Angel, and that's just because he's really scared of...
Everybody's anti-Fiora this game. They said, well, as long as we don't die to Fiora, we will win this game.
And they've itemized and just played completely... Mid inhibitor again. Katarina will be up in a second or two, but with the attack speed from Jinx, that inhibitor's going down.
Yeah, pretty easy inhibitor. It's wide open. Kalo was dead, so a 4v5. They don't even want to try one of those fights right there. Ezreal going to put out the ultimate. Hopefully slow down some of those minions. Misses the second wave as Udyr pushes up this top lane, and that's where they're going to set their sights on.
Yeah, apart from mid lane, only the outer turrets are down in both the side lanes on community side right now. 5 turrets to 3 overall, and really, if Riot wants to get any other lanes, they have to group up and push it. But with the super minions streaming in mid lane, it's really not going to be that hard to distract community and get at least 1 or 2 back to clear that wave so that Riot can push out some more turrets, or even possibly force a Baron here at 28 minutes. And Bacon Hawk might be gone. Hello? Hello? I think my co-caster is gone. For now. Anyway, we have...
I muted my mic to blow my nose, and I forgot to unmute it as I was casting Bacon Hawk, getting like almost one shot by Cat.
Okay. Anyway, now that Bacon Hawk was temporarily removed from the map, we have community at least trying to get some vision around the Baron area. Not working out a whole lot for them as they're forced to go back along with Fiora.
Whoa,
and Fiora with minions
flash out of
Kalo.
Kalo. Backing on a ward right here. This is a bad place to be. Kalo's going to get caught right there. Morgageddon also has a target. Khan, the mage guy, going to get hit by that second binding. She's going to pick up a kill along with Udyr. And now it's the 3-man defense. But most people are going back right now.
And it's not the best time to go back. To be fair, though, Riot doesn't have any minions in place to be able to push any of the side lane inner turrets right now. There's a big wave bot lane pushing against them, and also kind of up in the top lane, the minions are just meeting at the halfway point, and they couldn't really get any objectives off those couple of kills unless they wanted to turn around and go for Baron, which, even with the couple of kills that they got, is not a great option to go for. And now in mid lane, Morgana's getting engaged on.
Oh, Jules going to go back in on Morgageddon. Baconhawk taking so much damage inadvertently right there. Morgageddon going to get out alive, though, with 1 bar of health. A summoner heal from Aphik, assuring that Morgageddon will make it through that ignite. But that was a very close 1v2 in the mid lane, it looked like. Kalo was in there for a little bit, but got back out and stayed alive.
And once again, both of the main carries for these teams are just going at it. Jules really wanted to finish off Morgageddon there. Instead got Baconhawk in the process, and Morgageddon lives to fight another day. Keeps the legendary status 15-1-9 right now on that Morgana, and building what looks to be a death cap right there. 4-item Morgana with the Frozen Heart in place. Frozen Heart on top of the Zonias, by the way, is giving Morgageddon 230 armor on a carry mage Morgana. So there's nothing really that Fiora can do about that. The Last Whisper is in place, but it still is a lot of armor for Fiora to cut through.
Yeah, it's almost too much. She hasn't finished her Hydra yet. She has a Tiamat. And you can see how much difference it made in that last engagement without the Hydra. But there's still not any magic resist. She only has the Merc Treads, so when it comes to a 1v1, she just doesn't have the damage output if she gets hit by a binding. Kalo gonna get sniped through the brush right there. Great job by Jinx. Michigan Slim is locked down. A long range stun after snare after slow, and Sejuani will fall as well. 2-0 exchange right there. I can't really say it's being caught out, but a great ultimate from Jinx. As Fiora pushes top though and brings 2 people up there.
Yeah, it was a lot of good poke down onto Kalo there, and just a really good rocket to finish it off. Jules, I'm not entirely sure what that Fiora is trying to force right now. Aphik gets the Black Shield, so no Dazzle Stun will stop that push onto the mid inhibitor, and it will fall once again. Super minions continue to pour in the mid lane here for Riot.
Yeah, Community trying to hold on to this one. Able to kind of stave off any type of advance in the other lanes because they just haven't really been able to push them. Jules draws multiple people up top every time that Fiora pushes the lane. Baconhawk needs to be careful. Jules knows now it's a bait. Doesn't get hit by the binding. Rojan, though, is going to put the ghost down. Infinite Duress is on top there. Blade Waltz is going to come out, though, onto Baconhawk. Will there be a kill? Yes, there will. But Jules is also going to go down in a 1-for-2 exchange. Michigan Slim now coming back in. Rojan in a little bit of trouble. He will be exhausted. Morgageddon putting out the Soul Shackles. And actually a good block on the Jinx ult. It will tag easy. He's going to go down. And now it's Michigan versus 4. And that is going to be an ace and a triple kill for Riot.
Yeah, first real ace of the game. The Quadra earlier for Aphik wasn't close enough, but now they will finally get another turret after all these kills they've gotten. They should get another inhibitor off of it as well. Only 20 seconds left on the rest of these death timers. It's only 33 minutes here. Those aren't quite up to a minute yet, and they should get a lot out of this, but they might not be able to finish the game off of it. They're way too low to stay.
Yeah, not much they can do now. I mean, it's a really, really hard game to come back after 2 inhibitors are down. Unless you have perfect vision of Baron and get a good play onto a Baron, it's really, really difficult for you to come back when you have 2 lanes pushing with those super minions.
Yeah, and that's one thing that they can actually go for right now. Oh, the True Shot Barrage, interrupting the Aphic back. But Community really needs to at least secure some vision around Baron, or at least take Dragon right now as a consolation prize. They need some gold to get back in this game, or at least try to hold out for a while. 2 inhibitors down. It's not the end of the world, but it is a lot of damage to their team as a whole right now. We see just Michigan Slim hanging around the Dragon area. They put a ward over the back wall just to make sure no one from Riot's side is going in to get it, and he will move in on the Dragon. No one from Riot really coming in the area, and Sejuani is scared to just solo the Dragon by this point, but they do see Morgageddon alone in mid lane, and that's what they're going for.
Yeah, she doesn't have any MR. Will put out the Soul Shackles, forcing a flash at Kalo. Michigan Slim going to get a little distracted, go on to Aphic, but get bound up right there, and Slim's going to go down in this exchange. Not what they wanted at all.
Yeah, it would have been a good idea. Morgageddon appeared to be alone. Aphic was off to the side, and really that's all they needed to get the kill onto the Sejuani. And now they're following this up with a push once again down the mid lane, following their super minions that are battering on the Nexus turrets right now. Not a lot of damage on those turrets, and Riot will back out for now.
Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Jules is going 1v1 with Bankai, going to pick up 1 kill. Bacon Hawk, pretty scared, didn't even want to get involved. So Jules is going to pick up 1. It's going to be a 3v3 underneath the double towers. Rojan taking a lot of damage, and Aphic able to take out 1 tower and get out alive. They're kind of playing with fire now, though. A little bit of home guard love would make a big difference, but they have a double wave coming in right now. Aphic going to get stunned out by the mage guy. Jules has come back with the home guards. Unable to get in there, though. Couldn't jump onto the Jinx when she was low, and they're going to just start cleaning out these waves right here. Kalo, though, very low. Will she make it out of this one? Going to dodge the zap. And not the rocket. Oh. So that'll be game over for her. But a good stun onto Rojan right there. Big old black shield is going to force Michigan Slim out of there. The binding will go wide left. And that means that we're going to have another little more passive time.
Yeah, Riot was also 3v5 there, dancing on the edge of Community's base. Bacon Hawk was back in their own base on the platform. And of course, Handicap Bankai was dead after getting attacked by Jules. Still, Dragon and Baron on the table, haven't been touched in a while. And it's really just Riot wanting to make sure the inhibitors stay down. Here they go for the mid a 3rd time, trying to take it down. Aphic is not even being threatened right now. Mage Guy is dancing on the edge of the Dazzle range, but with the Guardian Angel that still hasn't even been popped on Aphic, he's...
there it is. Snare on a Michigan Slim. He's taking a lot of damage, but going to be able to charge out of there. And this inhibitor pretty much has to be forfeit right now, just because they have super minions on their last tower, which is their very last line of defense. I mean, once that tower goes down, it's just a straight up 5v5. So
bot lane.
Bot lane Fiora is going to push, take out Warwick and the tower, and Jules is doing a solo push down there. Kalo going to engage a little bit. Handicap Bankai taking a lot of damage. The rocket's not going to land. Aphic is fairly low. Mage Guy going to flash. The exhaust down on Aphic. There's the Guardian Angel. Michigan Slim and everybody just hanging out on the body to pick up that kill. Kalo will get the credit. And Fiora's going to push down bottom, but will die to Morgageddon, but pick up the tower.
It was a 1 for 2 overall on the map. The split push from Jewel was stopped, but he took an inhibitor turret with him.
Yeah, he got 2 towers for that split push. Dearth looking a little too far ahead. Khan's going to eat the binding, though, and that is game over for the Purple Taric. Dearth's going to go over one wall, shift over the other, and I'm not sure where he's going to go. He's going to be pretty cheeky to get out of this one alive.
He wants to do as much damage to the inhibitor as he can. Or at least execute himself on exit, but with Rojan, he's
not going to get eat. Oh, Rojan's going to get juked a little bit. Derek's going to go for the laser, but a flash coming out of Bankai going to be able to pick up that kill, and because Rojan I think thought that he was going to shift away, and he shifted forward, almost over Warwick, and he didn't get a hit off, but a little bit of a flash from Udyr picks up the credit for that laser kill.
The community was trying to get something off the 2 kills they got onto Riot, but they just were pushed way too far back from the super minions in 2 lanes that they couldn't do as much as they hoped. They got caught out. They lost 2 more members from it. And especially with Jules pushing in those 2 bot lane turrets and almost on top of the inhibitor, they just overestimated how much they could get from those kills after the resulting trade there. They lost a couple members, they couldn't really force any more objectives, and once again, Dragon and Baron are still on the table, Handicap Bankai finally going after this Dragon, Tiger Stance, and the Trinity Force Udyr should be able to melt it, but the rest of Riot wants to push back and again on this top lane, get the inhibitor down again there. Community wave clearing mid, but the...
Fior's going to go back and push bottom again right here. Now they have a decent... they can probably stall some people out. Jinx isn't here yet, but the binding's going to land on Khan the Mage guy. An ult from Morgan to be able to pick up that kill. Zonius will come out, a mega Death Rocket picking up Cat right there. Michigan Slim going for a fight right now. They just need to fall back. There's no reason to engage when your inhib's already down. Dearth now taking a lot of damage, and this is going to be the last tower. Fiora trying to get back in time. They're all so low with no Zonias. Dearth needs to get in there, but won't make it in time. Fiora hit the fountain as the game ended at 40 minutes on the dot. And the mainly Riot team going to be able to pick up the first win of the night.
You can call it Riot side. It's still their side.